So if you could tell by the title, even though it's zoomed in, y'all, when you feel overwhelmed. So what I was thinking was we can like I want to get on live and start talking to y'all about like basically like unmasking and really stepping into your power as a woman. And I want to get on here a few times a week and talk about different topics while we do a craft at the same time. Like, I think that would be fun and also relaxing. So I don't know if that's loud enough. But anyway, so let's get started. I hope you can still hear me, because I got my phone back kind of far. Okay, so we are going to do a junk journal today and talk about being overwhelmed at the same time. So I want to kind of do a junk journal for like journaling prompts, but for like women that are like, you know, you're trying to accomplish a lot, you trying to like come into yourself, like you have this vision for who you want to be, but it just seem like you keep getting stuck, or you just need community. So I wanted to start a women's group for that, and I figure we can meet on live a few times a week. So I want to do today, I want to talk about like feeling overwhelmed. So I decided that I'm gonna use this journal that I bought from Walmart. It was cute, so I was like, let me just like get a cute journal. Mind you, I bought this months ago. So I'm gonna use it to make a junk journal for like the journaling prompts and the workshops that we do on live. And I'm gonna like do the junk journal on live with y'all. I think that'll be fun. So it's like you can kind of like get to know yourself on a deeper level and relax and craft and journal at the same time. So I did write in this journal before. I only did like 2 pages, so I'm gonna rip those out. And now we got a blank journal, so you can use any journal you got. And then I have like sticker labels, so I printed out a bunch of stickers for this. So I created a slide presentation so that I can like keep up with what I'm talking about, so I'm not all over the place. But then I printed out some of the slides as picture, well, not pictures, as stickers. So let's get into it, y'all. And then I got some other stickers that I printed out. So all right, so let me introduce myself to y'all first. Okay, so my name is Shalise, y'all. So my name is Shalise. I haven't really met that many people with my name. My mom told me that my grandma on my dad's side was watching a movie in like the 90s. I was born in 92. And then she like seen, I guess the character, her real name was Shalise. She saw it in the credits. And so she told my mom she should name me Shalise, and she did. So that's how I got that name. I used to hate my name growing up. I really used to hate anything that made me stand out too much. Because I didn't like to really stand out much, because I didn't want to be embarrassed when I was younger. So that's little bit about me. So like right off the bat, me saying that is just showing you that like I started shrinking myself from a young age. I started shrinking myself as just like a little girl. So first I'm gonna print out the sticker that has the title of what we're doing today, which is when you feel overwhelmed. If you can even see it. So I'm gonna cut out, I don't know if I said what I said, but I'm gonna cut out that sticker. I think I'm gonna do it in a fun shape, because why not? And so yeah, at a young age I used to like shrink myself. Like I remember when I was like 5 and we had to sing, our class had to sing, I don't know what song we were singing, I don't remember no more, some song, and I was nervous because I was in front of people. I just was always like socially terrified. So I shrank myself when I was younger. I learned to do it early so that I wouldn't get made fun of, because I was a unique, different type of kid, you know. And I just kind of knew that the way I behaved wasn't like the social norm. It wasn't socially acceptable to be how I was. Okay, so we cut out the first one. So when you feel overwhelmed, bam. So that's my little sticker. So I gotta figure out how to get it off. I will say this is my first time buying like sticker paper, you know, for your printer. And I will say that I think next time I'm gonna get glossy, like a glossy sticker paper, and then like a transparent one. But whatever, we got what we got right now. So I'm gonna stick it on. Oh child, the ghetto. All right, so here it is. I need some markers. I don't have no markers, but I'm gonna outline it. That seemed fun. So anyways, yeah, I just kind of shrank myself because I learned really early that people didn't like a lot of stuff about me, because I just did not fit in. People thought I was weird. People thought, you know, why is she quiet? She must think she's better than everybody and all that. So I learned in my childhood to just kind of like be invisible. So here go my little outline, child. Okay, so when you feel overwhelmed, so that's my little cover picture. Now let's choose another sticker to put with it, because I feel like when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I get mad, I don't want to go nowhere, and I don't want nobody to talk to me, and yeah, I just don't want to be around people. So I got some stickers that I made, you know, I found from images online, and I'm gonna cut them out. I'm hungry. Now I'm gonna cut out to express my mood when I'm overwhelmed. Like, I had a whole meltdown today, y'all. Seriously. So we got this one right here. I'm gonna print that one out. Then we got this girl throwing up the deuces with a selfie, and it's like, you know, the world is on fire behind her. And then we got a messy room, because when I'm overwhelmed, I don't keep up with my schedule or with my life. So stuff gets hectic for me because of that. So So we're gonna cut this little thing out. I should, you know what, I'm gonna cut it in a row going across. Cool, cool, cool. So now let's cut out my little sticker. All right, so yeah, I just learned to shrink. So when you shrink yourself, you know, that's gonna cost you in the long run, because you're gonna eventually not know who you are anymore, and it can kind of cause you to have low self-esteem, because the person that God created you to be, with the unique personality that you have, you're hiding it. You're pretending that it's not who you are. You're hiding stuff about yourself. So yeah, shrinking is not good. So let's keep going. So yeah, another thing that I've struggled with heavily in my life too is people pleasing. So, you know, I just really, when you people please, you kind of like make all your decisions and you kind of do everything based around like what other people think, or what's going to keep the most people in your life, what's going to make the most people like accept you. It's like a way to gain acceptance, because you don't accept yourself, so you'll like do everything to make everybody else accept you except you. So that over time is gonna accumulate, and it's gonna make you like be overwhelmed. It's gonna burn you out. So that's another thing. And I struggle with people pleasing, not to the degree that I used to. I used to be really bad. Like I couldn't say no or anything, but now I can like say no and have boundaries and things like that. But it's like I'm currently in the phase of like literally unmasking and stepping out of filtering all of my thinking, all of my actions with, how will this make me look to other people? Will these people still like me after this? And I'm starting to step out of that. So it's like I'm like currently in that phase. I'm phasing out of that part of people pleasing where you have wrapped your entire identity around what other people think. But yeah, so I know what it feels like to be a people pleaser, to shrink yourself, to make others comfortable, or to make other people like you because you don't want to be disliked. And then just to kind of carry expectations that like really are like societal expectations that are really unrealistic. So here's my first sticker I'm gonna put on my notebook. I don't know if you can see it right. I got this bright light on, y'all, and I feel like it's changing the colors and stuff. But anyway, so I'm gonna put this on, because this is like what it feels like to be overwhelmed. Crying, tears. So I'm gonna put it right here. Putting it wherever I feel like putting it. Okay, so we got our first descriptor sticker of what it feels like to be overwhelmed on the page. So now I'm gonna get another one. But yeah, like I know what it's like to carry expectations that like society has for you as a woman that really are unrealistic, and they're just too much to carry. Like let me see. Like one of my societal expectations that I kind of like took on, that I really didn't know I didn't have to take on, was like basically you want to be like docile. You want to be, women are supposed to be nice. Women are supposed to be kind. They're not supposed to be angry. Like women being upset or showing that they're upset is like not very ladylike. So I would like try not to show anybody that I was ever mad, because I thought that as a woman I shouldn't be doing that, and that it would scare people off. So then it would make me like, you know, that anger, it has to go somewhere. You know, that frustration, it has to go somewhere. So it would kind of make me, basically it would just build up. It would build up, and then I would explode because I didn't express myself. So that's an example of like carrying a societal expectation of you that you really shouldn't be carrying. So more about me. I am a single mom of 2 kids, and I'm currently in graduate school. I'm working towards my master's in social work so that I can be a therapist, and I got some other stuff I want to do as well. But yeah, so I'm really intentional about becoming a therapist, and I'm intentional about doing the inner work as a woman who is coming out of people pleasing and unmasking and like being my authentic self. And so I want to do that with other women. All right, so let's define what overwhelm means. So we already got a couple of our stickers. We already got a couple of our stickers cut out. So I'm gonna choose so I'm gonna choose another sticker. Well, I'm gonna choose a few more stickers actually. So we got to cut out these. So I'm gonna, can you see this? So I'm gonna I'm gonna put those on there. So let's cut them out real quick. So when you're overwhelmed, it doesn't just look like, you know, having too much to do. Like, although that is a form of being overwhelmed, it's not the only, it's like not the only way that it looks. Y'all, I'm literally trying to concentrate on cutting this right and talking at the same time, but we gonna get it. So being overwhelmed can also look like having a mental overload. So it kind of just feels like too much. So it'll be like where you're like constantly thinking, constantly planning, constantly trying to remember what you got to do when you got to do it. Like always anticipating either something to go wrong or just always having to be on. You have to be alert because you're responsible for a lot. Yeah, so it's just kind of like it becomes too much. And when I get overwhelmed, some of the things I do is yell. Like I said, I'm a mom, and when I get overwhelmed, I start yelling, which is it's like not the best, but it's honest to God what I do. So I know some of the things I have learned to do is put on headphones, because I've been like recently diagnosed with ADHD, and so a lot of times when you have ADHD, you have a hard time regulating your emotions. It's like you don't have, your brain does not slow down long enough for you to be able to think before you're, especially when it's a strong emotion, before you act on that emotion, compared to like people who don't have ADHD. And so it is kind of hard. Okay, so I got another sticker that says overwhelmed. I made this sticker on, I put all these stickers together on Canva, but this one I actually made, and I really don't like how I made it, but I was just trying to get this done too, because I just got the idea to start coming on here and doing this with y'all a couple hours ago, so I did not prepare. Like if I would have had more time, I feel like I would have liked my little sticker better. But Whatever, honey. Okay, so I got this sticker that says overwhelmed. So I got that one. I got this don't piss me off sticker with Lala Anthony. I got this New York Tiffany Pollard sticker where she looked like Lord Jesus. I think I'm gonna put Woo Child to Ghetto on my on my journal. So let's put this one down. And I'm gonna write Woo Child the Ghetto. Woo. Oh, I think I'm about to mess up. Woo Child. Okay, I wrote too big, y'all. I ain't gonna be able to write the ghetto. Okay. So I just wrote Woo Child. Can't even see it. Anyway. So let's put these other stickers on there. So let's keep going. Okay, so some symptoms of being overwhelmed, or like some signs that you could be overwhelmed. Because I'm gonna be honest, it takes me a while to realize I'm overwhelmed, because I got that whole I gotta be strong, I'm a strong black woman mentality going, even though I don't want it. It's like I've been raised with that, and it's kind of like a thing for us, for black women to kind of feel like we just gotta be so strong. So it takes me a while to realize that I've overloaded myself. I've done too much. I'm taking on too much, whatever the case may be. So, oh, where'd my sticker go? Oh. So it takes a while for me to realize that. But anyway, so I put the little overwhelmed sticker on there. But yeah, so some signs that you could be overwhelmed is like you may feel tired all the time. Even if you haven't even physically done that much, like maybe you just mentally, it just feels like tired. You could be easily irritated or on edge for no clear reason. You may forget things, lose focus, could be mentally foggy. Making small decisions can feel hard, like trying to figure out what to eat or what to do next. That can happen to me where my mind, it'll feel like cluttered, and I'll be trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next. I'll be trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat or cook. So I'll end up just staying in that same spot because I'm having trouble making a decision because I'm stressed. So where's that sticker? So that reminds me, I got this sticker of, here we go, I got this sticker of this girl just sitting on the couch with her head, like sitting on the couch looking stressed. And that's something to describe how I feel when I feel overwhelmed. Like, that's exactly how I would describe it. Is I literally sit there looking upset, looking sad, looking depleted, and watching TV and just trying to distract myself from the overwhelming feeling. But it's like we can't be doing that, you know? At what point do we stop allowing ourselves to be distracted when we're overwhelmed or stressed out? Why don't we just like do something productive about it instead? So Let's see. Okay, do I got another one? I think I got one more. I don't see it. Okay. So I'm gonna do this other one. When I get overwhelmed, my house look like it. So I'm gonna use this sticker I made, which shows a girl's messy room. When I'm overwhelmed, I don't want to clean up. I don't want any chores, you know. So another thing you do when you're feeling overwhelmed is you start pulling away from people or things, because it feels like it's too much. Like, so for instance, this past week I was feeling overwhelmed, so I didn't really, these past 2 weeks I was feeling overwhelmed, so I didn't really want to do any extracurricular activities. So like, there's a small group I have at church. I didn't even want to go because I just didn't want to be around people, because I was gonna literally just had a straight face. Like I literally couldn't even fake the funk. I couldn't even look happy. So I didn't want to be around people. So yeah, I was feeling overwhelmed, so I decided not to go to my small group. So that's what that can look like. You can kind of isolate, basically, which is not good. So I'm gonna put this, trying to find a good place to put this sticker. Yeah, so boom. So when I feel overwhelmed, these pictures describe how I feel. All right, so what can trigger you being overwhelmed? So one way you can, one thing that can trigger overwhelm, because I was like reading up on this to try to figure out, well, what makes me get overwhelmed? What can make us as women like feel like life is too much, or like you need a break, like everything feels stressful? So one thing is like when you're trying to organize your whole life all at once. Like for me, I'll go on this big like, oh my god, I'm gonna change my life around. I'm gonna do all of these things. I'm gonna make all of these changes about my life, and I'm gonna do it all in a week, in a day. And so that's putting too much pressure on me, and that's causing me to feel overwhelmed. And so that could be something that you guys could do too. So when you're trying to organize your whole life all at once, all at the same time, you end up not being just focused on today. You're trying to think about next week, next month, and everything that you want your life to become, and you're trying to like get it done quickly. Like I would try to change my habits, my goals, my routines. I try to plan for my future, try to change the way I eat and exercise all at once, and try to juggle all these changes at once. And it got so, I would always quit, or it got overwhelming. Well, now more recently it's like, you know, I'm taking things more slowly, but it just still seems like sometimes it just seems like, okay, I'm making this progress, but then every time I take 3 steps forward, I'm taking 1 step back, or whatever the case may be. 1 step forward and 3 steps back. I forgot how the saying go. So another trigger for being overwhelmed is like motherhood or just being a caregiver. So like when you're a mom or when you take care of other people, you have to care for other people than yourself. Like, it's not just you, it's like if you're a mom, it's your kids too. So I have that that struggle quite often, where I'll be like, I have that struggle quite often where it's like I'll be trying to get myself together, and then I'll be like, dang, did I make sure that my kids did their homework? Or did I make sure, like, I'll be trying to keep track of so many things throughout the day that I'll like not remember to do something that I'm supposed to do as a mom. I'll forget to do something, or I won't have the energy to maybe spend as much time with my kids as I would like, and I will feel really guilty about that. And I kind of I don't think I'm as understanding of myself as I should be in those cases. And so if you're like a mom and you're trying to be what you need to be to your kids, or you take care of somebody, you trying to take care of this person the way that they should be taken care of, and you trying to take care of yourself at the same time, and you feel like you haven't even figured out how to take care of yourself right? So that can be like a way to trigger you to be overwhelmed. Another way that you can become overwhelmed is like maybe in like relationships, like when you're dating. Like, I haven't dated in quite a long time, but when I was, I would like be the person that all the blame went to, or I would feel like I had to take on responsibilities and things like that weren't supposed to be all mine, and so it would overwhelm me a lot, and I would feel, you know, like it was just too much. So like, that's another way. If you're dating relationships or just family and friends relationships, if you're the only one putting in all the effort, you're the only one taking accountability, you're the only one making sure, if y'all friends, y'all hang out, if you're family, making sure you're the only one to make sure y'all talk, whatever it looks like. If you're dating, you're the only one who tries to improve the relationship, it's going to overwhelm you. Like, it's going to be too much, because you're not supposed to have to do all of that. So another way you can kind of feel overwhelmed is like with your family. So like one way that can like manifest is like trying to live up to family expectations, like trying to be what your family wants you to be. They tell you gotta be, yeah, stuff like that. Like maybe your family only accepts you when you're docile, they only accept you when you're agreeable, they only accept you when you're nice to them, right? And then when you want to talk about anything serious, you want to bring up an issue, you just want to discuss things so that issues can be resolved, whatever. They don't like you anymore, you're too much, you're doing too much. They basically make you think it's something wrong with standing up for yourself or communicating openly, right? So that can be overwhelming, because that's too much, that's causing you stress. You should not be the only one that cares about your relationship with your family. Okay, and then another trigger for being overwhelmed is just like feeling like you got to manage everything in your life and still keep it together. So feeling like you can't be emotional, like you can't express that things have gotten to be a little bit too hectic for you. Like feeling like, you know, you gotta act like, you gotta smile, you gotta act like everything is all good. Like, I know that that's one of mine. where I'll be like, I'm good. Whole time I'm screaming inside, right? So it's like, what are we doing? So I got a devotional to go with our topic for today. So we talking about being overwhelmed, right? So I got a scripture, Zechariah 4:10. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. So I feel like that goes good with this, because if you see what we've talked about so far, just being overwhelmed a lot of the times is the pressures that you put on yourself. So it's okay to not first of all have too many expectations or too high of expectations for yourself. So to start small, start like with goals that you can actually achieve. And so I think that, yeah, this is a good scripture, and I printed that out. I printed that slide out, so we're gonna put it on our, not our next page. Let's see. I done skipped some of these, y'all, without realizing it. So hold on. Which one? So we got, oh Lord. I'm gonna just skip about that many pages. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, so we got stickers for this, and we're gonna put it in our junk journal. So the devotional, here's a devotional sticker, like literally it says devotional. We are going to, let's see how much time I got. Okay. So I think we'll just do the devotional, and we'll have to stop because I gotta pick up my kids from school real soon. Okay. So here's the devotional sticker. I'm gonna put it at the top. This is how it looks in the journal. And then here's the scripture. I'm gonna cut out the scripture. And then we'll do I'm gonna cut out the rest of the stickers for the devotional. And then we will do the devotional. We have a journal prompt too, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do the journal prompt, which is crazy. But it is what it is, because you know I gotta pick up my kids. But I might get back on today, or I'll just start new tomorrow, because I want to do a different scenario every time I get on. We could do like story times. Y'all can join the live. We can like talk about this stuff. Like I want to talk about this stuff. Okay, so I did this little cute way of cutting this. Okay, so here's the scripture, Zechariah 4:10. So we are gonna stick that on. Come on, come on. But yeah, okay, so we got the little sticker. And then the first part of the devotional. Okay. So you're overwhelmed because you keep looking at everything that needs to change instead of what you've already started. You're measuring your life against a version of you that you haven't grown into yet, and is making you feel behind. So now, instead of moving forward, you feel stuck, frustrated, and honestly tired before you even begin. But God is not looking at you the way you're looking at yourself. Yes, y'all, God does not look at us lowly how we look at ourselves. Because if he did, he wouldn't offer us salvation. He would just let us go to hell. So here's the first slide that I made, and I'm reading. That's what I'm reading to y'all. He's not focused on everything that isn't finished yet. He's paying attention to the fact that you're becoming aware, that you're trying, that you're making different choices, even if they feel small and inconsistent right now. And you know what? I really need to hear that. Like, I know I wrote it, but I'm just saying, like, I needed to hear that today, because I was feeling like my little small steps I'm taking, they sure feel like itty bitty. Like, in fact, I feel like I regress, you know? I'm like, what's happening? So instead of just feeling sorry for myself, let's journal, you know, let's be productive. Let's express our feelings, but then let's put some positivity in there. Let's do something about it. You don't want to just express your feelings, especially because, you know, a lot of our feelings have some kind of negativity or negative self-view, at least for me. And so the devotional that I made, it like helps you get perspective and helps you remember that, like, you're not trash, like, you're not worthless because you're not exactly where you want to be. Okay, so a lot of your overwhelm is coming from the pressure to transform your whole life at once. You want to fix your mindset, your habits, your discipline, your relationships, and your direction all at the same time. Like, yeah, you're doing too much. But that kind of pressure doesn't produce growth, it produces burnout. Yeah, burnout, crash out, all out, okay? God never asked you to become a completely different person overnight. He works in process, not in pressure. Like, that's another thing. So, like, since God knows the timing of everything, you know, he knows everything, like, we're the one rushing. Like, I feel like if you're actually trying to make changes in your life, to improve your life, and like God sees you trying, you ask for his help, that means the help you're getting, the help that you're getting, or the level at which you are improving, is probably at the pace you're supposed to be at. And you know, I'm saying all of this, but I was not hearing that when I was balling earlier. But it's true though. Like, why are you rushing? Like, you're where you're supposed to be. Okay, so what feels small and insignificant to you is actually part of the foundation he's building. And if you keep overlooking small progress because it doesn't look like a full transformation yet, you're gonna stay discouraged. Like, you're gonna have a hard time feeling like you're making any real progress, even though you are, because it's about your perspective. Okay, so you don't need to rush your growth to prove anything. You don't need to carry everything at once to feel like you're doing enough. God is not asking you to be finished. He's asking you to stay committed. He rejoices in the beginning, in the effort, in the decision to do something different. And I think it's really important to like really take that in. The fact that you are trying is enough. So instead of focusing on how far you have to go, bring your attention back to what you can handle today. Oh, I like that. Yes, that hit home when I just said that. Like, what can you handle today? Like, forget all the stuff that you gotta do. Stop running off a list of everything that you gotta do in your head over and over again. What is actually something you can accomplish today? Obviously the high priority stuff needs to be done, but maybe that's the only thing you can get done is the high priority stuff, and that should be enough. Like, you shouldn't, that pressure, when you feel yourself doing that, when we feel ourselves trying to pile on, that's when we need to stop. We need to be like, okay, I'm doing it again. You're like, you're doing it again, sis. Okay, so let today be enough. Let one step be enough. Because your change isn't built when you're like overly pressuring yourself. It's built when you're just being consistent. Repeated patterns. Right? So, all right, what time is it? Okay, so I have to go soon. I'm gonna be on in a couple more minutes. So I put in my little journal, the prompt that I read y'all, I had made slides for it, so I put them on my journal. So I don't know how long y'all been on here, but I'm doing journal prompts and like self-discovery type of journal prompts for women trying to unmask, trying to be their authentic self, stop people pleasing while doing fun crafts like junk journaling. So today's topic is feeling overwhelmed, and so this is what I got so far. I just got a journal that I have at home because I'm one of them people, I like to just buy journals. If it's cute, I want a journal. Like, I got a bunch of journals that's only halfway written in, a quarter way written in, and so I was like, you know what, I could use these. And so I put the devotional in here as well, and the other pages. And I got some other stuff to fill in that when I was talking, I forgot to actually put in the journal. So I got to do that later. Read y'all off the questions for whoever would be interested in them. So, with us talking about being overwhelmed, the first part of the journal prompt is, what has been taking up the most mental space for me lately, even when I'm not actively doing anything about it? And so identify the thoughts, the responsibilities, or situations that keep replaying in your mind. So you would take like a couple minutes to write, like, I would say a good little paragraph, because then that requires you to think about it in more detail. Then the second part of the prompt, am I trying to handle too many things at once? And which of these things actually need my attention right now versus later? And then be honest about what is urgent and what you've made urgent. Like, differentiate between those. And then the last part of the prompt, what can I release, delay, or simplify without feeling guilty, and why do I feel responsible for it in the first place? Challenge whether everything you're carrying is truly yours to manage. So those were going to be the prompts, but I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go get my kids. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.